Your pet would like to have a word with you. In fact, your dog, cat, bird, horse, fish, even bearded dragon would like to have an entire conversation with you. But having that trans-species discussion is difficult without an interpreter or go-between, a specifically skilled individual who's been communicating with our animal friends for more than 3 decades, bridging gaps in understanding, elevating relationships, building peace and harmony among all Earth's creatures. That person is Suzan Vaughn, the Animal Whisperer. And this episode is One Dog's View of Death and Dying.
I'm Suzan Vaughn. In this episode, I'd like to tell you the story of Valerie and her wonderful dog, Stella. The human and the animal had very different perspectives on death, and when Stella left her body, she left Valerie with guilt, questions, and grief. Could an animal communication session between Stella and Valerie soothe Valerie's worried mind? Here's a look into what the dog had to say about death and dying, and memories that will last forever. Valerie knew that Stella was nearing the end of her life and wanted to be there, at home, when Stella left this earth. Now that time had arrived. Stella died on a sunny Tuesday morning, yet Valerie was not there to usher her into the afterlife. She felt she had made the wrong decision about stopping that day when her intuition told her to go straight home. She wanted to know if Stella tried to wait for her to return home before dying. What's worse, Valerie also felt responsible for Stella's death. When I tuned into Stella, she was very direct about the cause of her death, as well as Valerie's role in her life.
So she says, my heart just stopped and I passed. I died. So I asked her, is it natural causes? Yes, it was natural causes. Did you have any medications you were on or anything like that? There was some stuff I was taking, but that wasn't the cause of anything. So she's just saying it was like a very sudden heart related, as opposed to, brain. But she says the heart stopped. So, and she says it was a natural cause.
I came home and she was dead behind the front door, like she was waiting for me, and it just broke my heart. The location she was at was curious.
What would you like to ask her about it?
Why was she there and positioned that way? And I don't know if she was suffering. She was laying behind the door. I didn't even see her when I came in. I came in with bones. I had made an extra stop. Otherwise, I probably would have been here. I don't know how soon she had died before I got home, and I wonder if she was alive when I came home.
Well, let me ask her, were you alive when your person came home? No. Were you in an odd position? Not to my knowledge. I was in a cool place. I sought a cool place. And I was in a place where I normally would have greeted people coming in and out. So it wasn't really weird to me. Yeah, not at all odd to her. She was trying to get in a small space, a dark space, a confined space to pass out of the body.
Was she wanting me to be there with her? Is that why she was by the door?
No, she says it was way better for you not to be there. She thinks it was easier on you.
Yeah, I'm not someone that wants to leave the room when my pet's euthanized. I will stay till the last breath, and no matter how torturous it is for me. So she had arthritis, and I was putting these little wristband, little braces on her front wrist because she would lick them a lot, and I just wanted to ease her pain. And I thought maybe that cut off her circulation and caused the heart stop.
Well, she says no, it didn't cut anything off, but it was very awkward for her, and she didn't like being, banded.
I get it. I know, and I should have respected that.
But she says no, there's there was no contribution to my death or an earlier demise from that thing on my feet. No.
So none of the supplements or frequencies I was doing, none of it would have been a cause.
No, she says she shows like a little blockage, really kind of like a little heart attack. This could be an embolism or it could be heart related. Sometimes I get the same picture when it's something that blocks the blood to the brain real quickly, but it's a very quick thing for her. Not a
So
lot.
she had she died right before I walked in then, I assume, because she was very much felt the same. I could hug her and touch her. Everything was warm. Was it minutes? I mean, was it just right before I came in?
Within the half hour.
Okay. I would love to apologize for not having patience with her all the time.
She had a long life, she says. 12 years is pretty good.
Yeah, I guess I always thought she'd be like 16 or 17. And had I not put those bands on, maybe it would have been longer. Did they stress her out if she didn't like it? That could have led to a heart thing. No.
Yeah, she's pretty casual about it. She just didn't like it.
Okay.
But didn't stress her out, give her a heart attack, and then she died or anything, or cause any circulatory problems.
Okay. Does she say what her lessons that she was supposed to be here to teach me were?
She says patience. She says patience and I think she's saying we worked on clarity of communication. We ended up with good communication, but we worked on communication. So she's saying communication, companionship, and patience were the top things you guys worked on.
Yeah, she was good for my life for sure. Was there something that she was supposed to teach me by leaving right now? Because that's heartbreaking to think about.
Yes, she says definitely. We're supposed to now become, she's supposed to understand that we're not out of relationship. I'm just her spirit dog now. So she's supposed to understand that we're not really separated. We're just
does
not
she want
in a body. Yeah, she says she's trying to let you know she's still around.
There was a bird chirping in my bedroom 2 days ago, and I couldn't find the bird anywhere. And it was in my room. So I was in my room. It was so obvious. It was right there. And I thought it, a bird flew in and got stuck. And whether it did or not, I still believe it was Stella. But I never found it. And and then I saw her name on something that was in all foreign languages except that. So I know I'm very open to it, and I'm welcoming and excited to have anything. And I've wondered, I watched another video and they said she lost her first dog and then she was grieving so hard. And she said she realized that sometimes they'll cup up. It was cupped up on her stomach, and that's where it was staying. And she said that she needed to release the dog to cross over. And so every day she would visualize a little bit less close and a little bit less close so that she could be free to cross over. And the good thing about that is that then she could send me messages. So is that my situation, or where?
That's not exactly how I see it. I feel that you are in touch now. You do have a wall of grief that you have to kind of get by, that makes it harder for you to be in communication with an animal as past. But you cannot hold an animal back. These things of seeing yourself a little further and a little further away is simply your visual for letting go. So I can support that. Any visual for you letting go of her in the physical, that's fine with me. But you cannot hold a being back from anything.
Okay. Do they plan their deaths and where and when and how and all that?
Yes, we all do. Before we come in, we sit down with our group of advisors and decide how we will pass out of the life. We decide what lessons we're there to learn. We decide what creatures we'll attract to learn those things, what people will attract. So yeah, we make a whole decision about it, and then we put a veil down over it so we can focus on what's going on in a more immediate sense. If you've ever had a near-death experience, you know that nobody ever wants to come back. So you don't have a lot of those things, of those experiences, because it'd be very hard to stay here.
So the morning the day she died, I run a little scan on my device to see what's going on with my dog's bodies. And it just does like a few seconds, and it scans and it gives a list. And I had been watching hers, and it said joints, which I knew she had arthritis, and it showed suffering, which was a scary word. And it was like the top one is the most important and strong. And there's about 5 things that'll list. And her top one that morning was suffering. And I guess, what does that mean? What can she tell us about that?
She says, I don't know, because I wasn't suffering.
She wasn't. We went for a walk and it was great.
Valerie and Stella had different ideas about being together at the end of the dog's life. Because Valerie was the kind of person who blamed herself for things that really weren't under her control, Stella felt it would be better if she left her body before her beloved person came home. Stella wanted to create a situation where her wonderful human mom could not blame herself for the death. Still, Valerie tried to find fault with herself, but her beloved dog tried to reassure her that the death was natural and normal, and that there wasn't anything she could have done to change or stop it. Animals try to reassure their people. They're more comfortable with death than many people are, seeing it as a natural event. When their people do the best they can, our animal companions know that. They never blame a person who tries to take good care of them. Stella loved Valerie with all of her heart. That love was mutual, and it's a kind of love that we all aspire to.
For more episodes in the series, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. To learn all about Suzan Vaughn and her services, visit her website at animalwhisperer.net. Be part of the community by subscribing to her Facebook page, animalwhisperer.net. Then sign up for Suzan's newsletter to enjoy more of her fascinating animal-human communication stories. So, until next time, join Suzan as she talks to the animals on The Animal Whisperer.